Welcome, everybody, to the O.V.G.C podcast, episode 24. I am your host, as always, Soul Zane, and with me, once again, is...
My name is Jan.
Thank God. I was so worried it wasn't you.
I had to think. I'm like, oh, I got to do the bit.
Oh, shoot. Welcome, everybody. This has been a long time coming episode, and I feel like this has been a dragged for me constantly as we've been trying to get through. As I've been trying to get through so many games this month.
Yes.
And Edgeworth Investigations takes up a lot of time. So that has been probably the biggest challenge that I've dealt with this last couple months. And,
Every time I fired up the Switch too, and I click the bubble for my friends list, Zane's playing Edgeworth Investigations every time I look.
Ever since this game got selected, I was just playing it every night, and now my daughter was watching me play it like every night. She goes, "I like watching you play the like the mystery game," is what she called it. And I'm like, hey, but now it's over with, and she'll never see it again. Sorry, sweetheart. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to play this at night anymore. I just want to go to sleep.
Right. I fell asleep trying to watch the story mode of the first one.
It definitely was putting me to sleep during the evenings. But it's a good game, and it's got good characters, and I really like the Ace Attorney series. And I feel like this one specifically, because we're not really going to talk about the first game, but this one specifically had some really good characters, really fun story to kind of piece together and see what happened. And I don't think you got through anything but the beginning, right?
Yeah. I made my way through the first case of the second game, but
Gotcha.
I didn't get farther than that.
It tapered off. You should have just powered right through it, I guess. But the thing is,
I tried.
You can't. You just can't. Like, you have to know the context of the first game in order to understand what's going on in this game. Not the full context, but the characters. You need to know who the characters are, and those characters specifically, you need to know Kay. And you need to know Agent Lang. Gumshoe is a holdover from the Ace Attorney series, so you don't actually need to know anything about him, but he even grows as a character in this one. They introduce, all 5 of these cases are all interwoven with each other. By the last one, a whole bunch of material from the first few, like the first case and so on, all starts to kind of converge to like one point where you have to catch the mastermind behind everything. While I loved the chase, when we got right down to it and we were confronting him and we were stopping all his lies and everything and all this stuff going through it, I felt a little empty by the end of it. Like, I felt like there should have been another cliffhanger of something we didn't solve, that the game could have been like, hey, there might be more, which is, I always love an open interpretation on good storyline, stuff like that. But they wrapped everything up pretty much, There really wasn't anything else to explore after it was done. But fun characters, good character designs, better overall design compared to the first game. The first game seems to be like an offshoot side game, really, and then this one they kind of were like, okay, how do we make this more more Ace Attorney like, and they did make it much harder. They did make a lot of the things difficult to kind of suss out. I think that overall, it's a really fun game to play, and if you aren't even into stories, what do we call visual novels, the Ace Attorney games are a really easy way to kind of like dip your toe into that genre of games. What did you think about anything? What is any of your opinions before I continue on this?
Well, like I said, I only got through the first case. But as far as just kind of how the gameplay and in how the investigations games worked in general. Um, it was a cool concept, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
It's hard for me to just sit there and read text all the time. Like, I'm usually a gameplay guy. Like, give me those arcade shooters and beat 'em ups and stuff like that. So, um, I did I did enjoy, the story and the characters. Like, the dialogue was usually pretty good. Um, the character names were always so on the nose, where
Uh,
it's kind of like you couldn't help but just laugh at how. I guess it kind of is the equivalent of like the PS1 cheesy dialogue. Like, it's so bad it's good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like everybody in the world of Ace Investigations or Ace Attorney is all named something totally ironic.
Hmm.
um,
Yep.
there's literally a guy in the first game named Dead Man. like, so I mean that is really fun. The naming conventions is really fun. And but sometimes that stuff can give away the meta in the game, which is
Yeah.
really easy to get ahead of. Like you can suss certain things out and just be like, "Oh, I know what this is," before it even occurs. But like
Yes.
sometimes I found in the second one that I would get the idea of what was happening at the same time the characters were getting it, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh,
I'm right
they
on
paced
track
the
with it."
second one better then.
Yeah, yeah, they paced
Because
it a lot better.
the first one, the one I played more of, um, played all the way through. Uh, I definitely was ahead of the characters multiple times.
Hmm.
So I guess I might have had a more enjoyable experience had I just started with the second one.
I
But I wanted to know the story and the characters, and it seems like the characters are kind of the highlight of the games, anyways. So
Yeah, I mean consensus wise, I think you did the right thing. I just think we didn't
yeah,
have enough time to
right.
get
If
through it.
this should have been a quarterly almost kind of thing, but
Almost, yeah, yeah. But the thing was, we weren't planning on playing two games. That's not the point.
true, true.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of something we
It's
did.
our own fault.
It is. It's really it's Das Brat's fault, but it's our own fault because we have hubris, and I don't want to. I don't want to not play the first one. I would feel like an idiot.
Same.
So yeah, I just jammed through it every single night as much as I could. I don't know how many hours I put into it. The Switch doesn't record your hours really precisely the way the
Yeah.
DS used to. But yeah, I mean, I don't. The music in this has a lot of good callbacks from the first games because certain characters have themes that I like. I love hearing the sound of somebody say objection, specifically Edgeworth. I love it when he says objection. Um,
Hmm.
it feels good and it's striking and visually awesome to see. But the music wasn't, it's not as memorable as the Ace Attorney games. The music in Ace
Okay.
Attorney it just really gets you intrigued, or the high tension stuff like comes up, and this game just doesn't have that. I actually played the majority of it just on mute because it was just getting really annoying hearing all the beep, the click 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 sound of the type showing up. And
Yep.
I don't know if you noticed this, but men have a deeper typing tone sound than the girls do. Girls have a higher pitch typing sound. Did you notice that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it,
yeah.
yep, they do.
It's like a little quirk that the game kind of did, which is cool. I think that's neat. Um, this is the fourth case, so this is ahead of you
Okay.
quite a bit. And this one, I
Spoiler
think,
warning.
it really just don't read what's happening. But this one,
It's
I
fine.
think, is really good. When you start this case, it was like, what? How are we getting through this one? Like I was really intrigued by the fourth case for sure. That was my favorite. I felt like the third case kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit. There were some things to it where you hop back and forth as Edgeworth's dad in the past, and you play Edgeworth in the future, trying to solve the same
Oh.
case that his dad couldn't solve, like
Interesting.
12 years ago or something like that. I believe, yeah, 12 years ago. And so that's really cool that they did that. And then the fifth case has you solving three cases at once. And
Oh,
the
geez.
beginning of it is so long. I didn't realize it was how long the beginning was until I'd finally gotten through to the center part of the game, but after I'd gotten through the beginning, the rest of it just like took off like that. It was just boom, it was over with, and I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna be like, I thought there was gonna be way more wrap up than this. So there wasn't. It kind of all happened really quickly, which I thought was the letdown part. That's what I didn't like about the ending.
You wish it actually did go a little bit further.
I do. I actually kind of wish there was a lot more closure with certain other elements or other characters that were in it. But it wasn't that big a deal. But it did really make me feel like I was playing the old Phoenix Wright games. Which, speaking of, they never mentioned Phoenix at all, but they like offhandedly mention him. Miles mentions him a little offhandedly, kind of as like that one person, or if it wasn't for him, and then it would just stop talking, which is fine. And I went online to kind of see why they did that, and the consensus is they just wanted to make sure that the games weren't taking the focus away from Edgeworth and making people go, but at what point is Phoenix Wright going to show up? Because he doesn't.
Right.
And that's
make
kind
him
of
the rival character.
yeah, and that's kind of what happened to Apollo Justice, in my opinion, because when you play Apollo Justice, Phoenix is in that, and he just kind of takes the spotlight away from Apollo, and you as the player are kind of like the whole time, but what's going on with Phoenix? And so I can see why this, in my opinion, that I think was a good choice overall. I do wish they had mentioned his name by the end of it, because there was a point where Miles reminisces about it, and I think that would have been a good point to pop it in, but it's fine regardless. Cool. And I do like Miles as a character. I think I like how bold and stubborn he is, and I like his attitude. I think he's a neat guy. I think Kay kind of creates this little bubbly character that's kind of fun to watch and stuff, but like I just not really like I'm not interested in her as much. But every character by the end of this one like had like an arc of growth, and it was really kind of cool to see how the writers were able to kind of get all the characters to grow, and not just be and it isn't just about Edgeworth. So
right.
I think that's all I have to say. If you had anything else to throw in before we talk about our next game.
No, I'll have to give the second game a bit more time. It might be a while. I'm a little bit burnt out on the visual novel thing after the first one. So once I'm recharged, I'm gonna jump back in.
Don't forget about it.
Amongst the sea of my backlog. So
I'll check in with you at Christmas.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, you know what else is fair enough is Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh, so good.
Okay. I love DKC too. Since I did a lot of talking, I want you to tell me what you think first.
So my main DKC game is DKC 1. That's kind of what I grew up with when my parents bought us 3 kids the SNES for Christmas as our shared gift, and Donkey Kong Country was the game. So the first one has such a special place in my heart. And I don't think before this that I've actually sat down and played all the way through DKC 2. I might have, but it would have been a long time ago. It's been a long time if I have played through the whole thing. I might have. But I did not remember how hard some of these sections got.
Oh, yeah.
This game is such a difficulty bump from the first one. It like there are a couple sections where it's like, really? Like that's it. Donkey Kong Country never gets unfair. And usually they design everything so that you can speed run through it. Like there's usually a way that you can just keep your momentum going. That's kind of why I love Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 so much. It's such a good momentum-based game. Like if you know a stage, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
Bonk, you just jump, roll through these guys. You know, you can make through the whole stage in one running lap usually.
Yeah.
So I love the momentum of these games, and this one's no exception. I liked the Squawk stage. I loved the soundtrack is probably one of the biggest highlights to me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the one thing I can never let go of is the soundtrack in this. I've got so many favorites
You know, it just what aquatic ambiance from.
Yeah,
Now that's from the first game, right? Aquatic
that's from the first
ambiance.
one.
Okay, so the
Yep.
one that's like that, the ice cavern one,
Oh, okay.
is super good. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now, but shivering
Bramble
something.
Blast is a huge highlight,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
Sticker Brush Symphony is a huge one.
yeah. That's such a good
But
song.
even some of the ones that I hadn't heard, or like the later game ones, still snuck in there and surprised me. Like, this is a
Hmm.
bop.
Yeah.
So I was really enjoying the soundtrack on my playthrough here.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I almost forgot how good it was. That spider dude can be way too OP at sometimes because you can just float through the top of the stages without
Yes.
anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you can. Oh, that's a false wall. Okay, I missed that one on my playthrough.
Yeah. I totally forgot where most of all this stuff is, and I don't know whether or not I played through this game with a guide as a kid. I really can't remember, but I know that my brother and I 100%ed this when we were kids. But
Yeah.
I don't think we had a guide because I don't have one on my shelf. So we may have gotten through it without it, but we could have also had one, and I just don't remember. But um, I love the momentum mechanics, like you say. I think they're really
Mhm.
really good, and what I think is really cool about how they developed this game is they basically built the stages around the slidiness and the fast pace, and they like the distance of your jumps. Like they knew everything, like
Yep.
like the bit to get you through it,
They play tested the
but
hell out
still
of
make
this
it
when they were
super
building it.
challenging. Oh yeah. And what's really cool about it is that like there's a lot of times where like your character is moving through it or just kind of like shifting super fast, and if you're not careful in the right moment, you lose. You know, like you lose a Kong or you get a game over or whatever. Um,
Yep.
you know, I think the weakest segments of this game are the boss fights. I
Mm,
think they're just annoying to deal with, in my opinion. They're not really that fun
I could
overall.
see that.
Um, but I don't like hate I don't hate any of them. I just think that they don't really like shine with the mechanics because they're just you just hit guys with stuff in them.
I
Man,
can
he
see
is
that.
going the distance on that
I think
chest.
the most interesting boss is probably the one where you ascend vertically. Is that the ghost squawks?
Yeah, yeah, because you have to dodge those flying eggs, which is
Hmm.
really tough, especially if you're trying to
Yeah.
go fast because they come off the edge of that screen super quick. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge. But the that's probably the only real boss fight, I guess, that would have that. I mean, the King Zing Sting probably was also
Yep. That one was interesting.
pretty good. I don't like that fight just because of just dodging around and he's not coming at me. I just get in the way, and that just makes me angry because I'm getting in the way of him. you know,
Well, can I just put one thing in here?
yeah.
Uh, so the boss fights are such a stark contrast to the momentum based. Like the levels, you're moving quick. Let's go, 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 go. It's gotta go fast. Like it's almost Sonic the Hedgehog in a way.
Uh huh.
Um, but the boss fights, it stops that. Now it's hit the guy, iframes. Let's sit here and wait. So it makes it's a tedious section of the game compared to how full of gameplay and full of action the rest of it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the tedium and the change in pace that makes them kind of the weakest part. They're not bad. I wouldn't say the boss fights are bad, but it's like the weakest sections.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying. I think they're the weakest part of the game too. Um, it's this segment with specifically that makes me think about how the momentum mechanics work in the game and
Mm.
how tight everything is. Like you don't know how close you're allowed to get to those spikes. Like look, he just rode right across them before the hitbox tells you you can't do that. And like if you take you screw up and you flap at the wrong time, you're screwed. He just
But if
got
you master it, you can fly through it.
yeah, oh yeah, you can just zip through that thing like crazy.
Very
Um,
high skill ceiling on it.
but I I don't know if I have I don't I don't know if I like oh I knew I had something else to complain about, and it was this. Paying
Why do I have to
save,
spend coins to save?
Yeah, it's paying money to save my game, but also if you shut the game off, you have to it resets all your lives and your tokens too.
That's bullcrap.
Yeah, so which I don't like, and I played the game on OG hardware, so I had to deal with that a couple times. I even game overed and had to replay a bunch of stages a couple times, and which is fine, but it's still, oh my gosh. And on this fight, I died to the final cannonball shot before the end. I died to the final cannonball shot. All I had to do was jump over the dang cannonball.
You knew it was coming.
And I got fucking creamed. I was so mad. I had to redo the whole fight again.
That one was a pretty tough fight. Like, honestly, compared to K. Rool in the first game, this one's like a pretty big challenge. Like, it took me quite a few tries.
Yeah, the second version of him at the end is harder, right? Because he jumps and stuff, I think, and
I think so.
It's like another variant of the fight. That's all. It's the same fight. It's just another variant, and you have to there's like lasers and stuff going down the bottom. No, that's DK3. That's DK3. Either way, it's another variant of the fight, and you have to do, and it's just a harder version. It takes time to get to, and I think the idea of bonus stages is really cool. Having to work to get them too, I think is really neat, and a lot of games don't really do that I've played recently. No. Yeah, I mean, the killer soundtrack, amazing game. I love the atmosphere of this game, which is one thing I did want to talk about.
Oh, go ahead. That brought a thought to my mind.
Do you want to say it before you lose it? Because I know what I'm going to talk about.
Just really quick. One kind of like itty bitty nitpick is the chaotic map music is not anywhere near as good as the DKC1. Map
Yeah, for sure. DKC1's got killer map music. Boom, boom, boom.
It kind of got not depressing, but hearing the more tense, more nervous sounding DKC2 map theme was kind of like I wish I had like a little bit of upbeatness between my levels.
Yeah, I get it.
But the theming and the vibes of the game are a lot darker than the first one for like in every way.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I like is the dark themes. I really like how dark and spooky it is. And it takes the dark and spooky stuff that happens in DKC1, like the minecart stages, the oil barrel alley or whatever stuff.
Yep.
Like it takes those and applies that to almost the entire game here. And you have like so many creepy elements in this entire game. You like sinking ships in a swamp. You go from a beautiful, bright ocean side gangplank galleons playing, all that stuff. It's super nice and fun and friendly. And then right after that, it's this dark and crusty swamp, and you're just like, whoo, It's like, it doesn't let up after that. After that, it's this carnival of like this rundown carnival of death, and then these ghosts in the forest, and then after that it's a derelict keep, and that's the cannonball shot that killed me.
Right there.
Yeah. It's this derelict keep, and then you don't even get to see sunlight until you get up to this portion of the game again. It just feels like everything is like so dark, and I love that creepy atmosphere. And like the whole island itself is creepy, right? And DKC1 doesn't have that all over. It just has that in certain segments. And I wonder if that was that they took the theme from DKC2 and said, well, let's turn that on its head for DKC3 and make it brighter, but it still has like really dark, gritty elements to it, like the first game does. Like there's an entire stage in DKC3 where a saw is cutting through a tree you're in. It's like the Kremlins are destroying the world. Like they're pretty much like they're industrialists. They don't care what they do to ruin everything. They literally live in barrels half the time. It's kind of cool. And that I think is a big draw for me with Donkey Kong, because like Mario is a bright and fun and friendly game series, and Donkey Kong Country, I mean, I will say 1, 2, and 3 are a darker, grittier platformer, in general.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool to see that throughout the entirety of DKC2, and that they build the world itself around the enemies too a little bit. Like, they took the zingers from the first game and they made an entire stage about zingers,
Right.
which I think is really neat. Like, that's really clever, taking content from the first game and making it and adapting it in this in a way that makes the world feel like it's lived in, which I can't say is something that Donkey Kong Country Returns does. So.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. That's where I think, now that I'm thinking about it, like the kind of the vibes and the atmosphere of the first 3 games, the atmosphere is not quite the same in Returns and in Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, they try to go too friendly, and I think that's where a lot of people fall off with the Donkey Kong series. It's just too, the atmosphere just isn't as good. And I think Bonanza now has its own thing going for it. Because it's just its own style of thing. So we're not, you don't have to really think about it. But to play these older games, like, they definitely have an atmosphere to all to themselves that I don't think any other Nintendo franchise really comes back to at all. But yeah, so 10 out of 10 game. I love DKC2. I'm really glad we got to play this. I think it's really awesome that this was our game of the month, and maybe we'll get to play DKC3 later on and watch Season speedrun it sometime, which he just did the other day. If you check the power to the player, he beat it. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we've got to say, I believe. Any last anything for DKC2?
Nope. 10 out of 10.
All right. 10 out of 10. All right. Speaking of 10 out of 10.
Oh, no, never mind.
No, not yet. We have so many 10 out of 10s on this classic monthly game list coming up. We have a lot, so we're going to go through this one first. First
10 out of 10.
First one is Ocarina of Time. Absolute 10 out of 10 game. I love Ocarina of Time. This is why I suggested it. I was like, we had DKC 2, and then what did we have before that? We had what was our other game? Pikmin. So far, like, we might as well keep the bangers going. But I don't want to make this all a Nintendo only year. So. Ocarina of Time, excellent game. And the next most excellent game is Majora's Mask, which it's another banger Zelda title, so all good things, so far. So let's, I mean, another really, really good game. Have you ever beaten Majora's Mask?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I have not beat the 3DS version though, it's on my medium
your short list
backlog.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got to play through the 3DS one and finish it. I got all the masks and then I quit the game. Because I didn't feel like beating it. I was like, okay, that last part's too easy to win with. So, but speaking of things that aren't easy, Zelda 2 was also suggested in this massive Zelda block of games that we have coming up here. We have 5 Zelda games suggested for today. 4 for the classic.
I won't hate on too.
It's not a bad game, but it does have there's a difficulty curve before Death Mountain. So, but once you get through that, the rest of it's not too bad. Speaking of something that ain't too bad, Link's Awakening DX, almost the same as the first one. They did add a little extra to it to kind of make it a little easier because they added a red tunic and a blue tunic. One increases your power and the other one increases your defense. You can get them super early on in the game too if you know where to go and what to do.
You got to beat the DX exclusive dungeon to get it.
Yeah. Which you can unlock at any point in the game, which is really which isn't too bad. Well, not any point. You have to get into town first, but speaking of Ratchet and Clank for the PS2. That was a good segue. I had no segue for that one. Ratchet and Clank. Seriously good game. If you have not played it, Jeff, I think you'd like Ratchet and Clank.
I have not played it. Is it a 10 out of 10?
I would say it's a 10 out of 10 game. I think it's really good. I think the other games basically emulate all the sequels for Ratchet and Clank emulate the first game, which isn't bad, but they never improve on it.
Okay. So the first one's kind of like you might as well play the first one.
Yeah, it's definitively the best one, and I think they remade it too not long ago. But honestly, I would say play it on the PlayStation 2 because the remake is not as the remake is way too forgiving comparatively.
Okay.
So, speaking of something that's probably not forgiving, Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio. The
first one.
Yes. Not often do we get Dreamcast games suggested, so it would be kind of cool to get this one and kind of get my Dreamcast out that you gave me and fire that up. And,
you're welcome.
And,
I don't know if I don't think I have this one.
I only have one Dreamcast game, and this is not yet. But I think Jet Set Radio and Jet Grind Radio are available on Steam. So
okay. I have not played those.
Well, something that's not available on Steam is probably the one video game with the worst tank controls I've ever played in my life, and that's Mega Man Legends. Not only are you a robot, they decide to make it so that you're more like a tank. And the tank controls are god-awful. If you start this game and you pick the easiest difficulty, it literally gives you Mega Man's full suit, which you're supposed to like work towards getting or something, and you're invincible. You're completely invincible and all this stuff. Like you can play and just go right to the end of the game if you pick the easiest difficulty when you play this. But it's got like a dungeon crawl element to it, like you're seeing right here, and then but aiming and boss fights are horrendous. But I would be more than willing to give this a good try. I have this game on the N64 and the PlayStation 1.
Oh, you've got Legends and 64.
And I have Legends 2.
Oh, bro.
I just haven't ever popped in Legends 2 to play.
All right.
But I would really like to actually play through this game. I love the atmosphere. I think it's really fun and bright and colorful and exciting to play, to check it out. So.
I feel like the art style definitely helps it to age better than a lot of games from this era.
Absolutely. Other games that have aged, I think, really well, Startropics.
I like this one.
It's a good game. It's interesting it's interesting grid-based combat.
Yes.
It's very hard, and you may not be able to get through it if you are not a vet. And but save states
I feel like
will
there's
save
a difficulty curve though. Like the early game isn't bad, but it definitely picks up later.
Yeah. Then there's hidden secrets and other stuff. Yeah, see like that. And not all
this one never came to Japan, by the way.
Startropics never came to Japan?
America only.
What?
And maybe Europe, but it never came out in Japan.
I had no idea. That's insane.
Fun fact.
That is a fun fact. You know what else is a fun fact? The Game Boy Advance had action side-scrolling games.
Interesting.
This is Swordcraft Story 2, Summon Night. The series is called Summon Night. Swordcraft Story 2. I think there's like 6 of these games. I've played and I own the first one.
Okay.
It's actually really fun. Very easy to play. Super, simple gameplay. They're very quick. I believe this one is more story heavy though than the first one. But you collect you like go through like tiered dungeons, and when you finish the dungeon you can get items to get your next equipment. You forge that equipment and then you use that equipment to go through the next dungeon. And there isn't really a time that I ever saw in the first game that you would backtrack and get different equipment or like have to recollect items and stuff like that. As long as you played through the game and you were doing well, you would always advance really well. And you had different varieties of weapons to use, like hammers, axes, and swords, I think, were the only weapons. There might be others. But each one played a little differently, and if you liked the style of one, depended on which weapon tree you decided to climb as you played through the game series. So
interesting.
Yeah, Summon Night 2. I think they're cool. It'd be fun to play this one. You don't need to play the first one to play this one. Rest assured.
They're completely separate.
Yeah.
Storylines.
They're their own thing. Speaking of something that's not its own thing, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. So Season suggested Red and Blue. Blue is a DS game, so it doesn't qualify for this. But Red is a Game Boy Advance game, so there you go.
Are those both the same game?
Not entirely. I believe the blue one is a little different, kind of like how they do the other Pokemon games. But I think the whole point for them doing that is so you could have the Game Boy Advance plug into the DS and transfer data or something that way. I think was the whole point of them being on separate consoles. So
let's start with Red, and then we can throw Blue in the New Millennium stuff.
Right?
Later.
Yeah, if you need to. I don't know. I don't care for these Narikiri dungeon games very much. So I may end up playing some of it, but I doubt I'll beat it. The other Pokemon mystery dungeon games are so long and convoluted and not fun to play that I just give up on them. I think I've played 2 of them and I just don't like them. I don't think I've ever beaten any of them. I have one for the 3DS and one for the Switch because I thought the Switch one would be fun. It is not. It's not.
Fair enough.
I don't care for them. You guys might like the Narikiri dungeon stuff, but Mischief Makers is next.
Yeah.
I'm glad you suggested this because I was thinking about suggesting it, but I really wanted to suggest Zelda.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say this one's a 10 out of 10, but it's like a 8 or 9 out of 10.
You see, a good game regardless. So,
it's treasure.
Exactly, it's treasure. I'd be excited to try it. I really want to play through this, and this would be a good excuse to do it. Something that'd be an excuse to play is Mario's Missing, which everybody needs an excuse to play because nobody wants to play it. There it is, Mario's Missing. Super short.
Was this the backlog pick?
This was the backlog pick, yes. I threw it on there from the backlog. I almost kind of wish I didn't. We had so many suggestions. I'm kind of starting to question whether or not I should even put the backlog games on right now, just because I feel like if the backlog...
I kind of like the wild card aspect, though.
I do like that, but I feel guilty if a backlog game gets picked over everybody else's suggestions. You know what I mean? But I'll leave it up to you guys. Baby. It matters not to me. I will play a game, whether the computer decided it or not. All right, so there we go. There's all our games. There was 12 suggestions this time. So here we go. Here's our classic game coming up. For the fuck's sake.
And the applause sound effect has to play.
Mario's
Missing.
Yeah,
let's do it, guys.
I hope you all feel bad. Fuck the backlog. No, we can't. It's been on. We suggested the robots are taking over. Mario's Missing is our backlog title. So.
This one should be quick though, so
yeah,
that'll give me more time.
Honestly,
to play
that'll give me a chance to get through Legend of Dragoon.
There you go.
I think is a great option. I'm not spinning again. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. We took all the time. That is why I feel bad about it. But Mario should stay missing.
Poor Mario. Just thrown right under the bus.
Oh, shoot. That's funny. All right. So, let's see. No. All right. So, Mario's Missing is our classic monthly game. It's a quick one. You guys can beat Mario's Missing in like 2 hours. So, yeah, I don't see why. And it's on the NES and the Super Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo one looks really nice. It also has really good music. Dark Souls. I decided to pick this. This is on the PS3, originally launched on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Demon Souls precedes this, but you do not need to play that to play this, of course. But I picked this because I really want you to play this, Jeff.
Okay.
I think you would really...
Isn't this like hard as all get out, though?
So they are, only if you treat it like a typical video game. When you get through a Souls game and you like start to understand them, they are so easy to play and they're really fun. They're really fun to succeed and feel good in. And that's kind of like, I really want to play this again on the older console just because I do believe that they must have stopped updating it at some point. So I'm sure there's certain things that might actually be like different or stuff that. But either way, I've beaten this a bunch of times. Okay. I kind of want to learn how to speedrun this game. Just because I learned how to speedrun some of it, and now I kind of want to do the whole thing. But it just exploring the world is really fun. I love the environment. I love the combat is really interesting. The monsters, the bosses, just everything about it. The secrets are it's really cool and unique. And I think it's an experience that everybody should give a go to. Whether you are like scared it's too hard or not, you should at least dive in and at least give it a try. Sure. So,
is it one of the better regarded Souls games?
Dark Souls 1 and 3 for sure.
Okay. Cool. So this is a good entry point.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark Souls 1 is probably the best one to get in on for sure. All
right.
I've got a buddy who started with Dark Souls 3 and he really likes Dark Souls 3, and I finally convinced him to start playing Dark Souls 1, and he's gotten to the majority of it, but all he does is complain to me about how it's not like Dark Souls 3, and I'm like, you don't understand.
It's so different.
Exactly. It's so different. Well, speaking of something else that's totally different, Pandora's Tower. I don't know anything about Pandora's Tower. This is an RPG, I think, from the Rainfall games.
It was one of the Rainfall games, yep.
Do you know anything about Pandora's Tower?
Nope. I just know that it was one of the Operation Rainfall games that we finally got.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, we got it. Here it is.
I'm willing to play it, but I'm not sure I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah, well, the other one of the trilogy of the Rainfall games is The Last Story, which when we were across state, I bought that copy of Last Story. I didn't realize I already owned it. So,
well, if you need to get rid of it, I don't have it, so if you have a spare copy.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally give it to you. I don't know anything about this game either. I know this is another RPG. So I'm curious to try these games just because they were such a big deal, at the time. And people fought so hard to get these games and Xenoblade to the States. So it's cool that I keep suggesting these guys, no matter, even if they don't get selected. What?
Das Brat made a pretty good point in the chat.
What? Isn't Mario's missing a SNES game? No, it's not a SNES game. It's an NES game.
Oh, so we're saying the NES version?
You can play either one, but I'll just discount the NES off the off the list since that's the one that's going to get selected.
Fair enough.
Like I said, you can play it on either console. It's even a PC game. Mario's Missing is on PC as well. But I believe it was originally released on the NES. So, but also the thing is the backlog is undisputable. It doesn't matter if the game console was selected already. You don't have a choice to
It's just the wild card.
AI tells us how to live our lives. It's 2026.
Fair enough.
Speaking of what AI has chosen, this is the other backlog pick, No More Heroes.
I'm okay with this one.
So this is the first time I put a backlog pick in from that isn't just a classic. I decided to do one for the bi-monthly as well, just because these backlogs are just going to keep building up if we don't get these games off these lists.
Right.
But No More Heroes. I'm down to play this. I've always wanted to try it out, so I'm excited to be Travis Touchdown, at least for a little bit. And they just re-released this game on the Switch, didn't they?
They did.
Sweet.
They did.
Sweet. So this is what the low polygon weave one looks like. I literally have No More Heroes 2 and 3, and I don't have the first one.
Same. I've been looking for it. Every used game store I go to, it's like, no, they don't have it. I've never, and it's not that expensive. I don't think it's that uncommon, but it's never at any game stores I go to.
Huh. Difficult. All right. House of the Dead, Overkill. Now this is another Wii game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this based on the arcade game?
No, it's its own thing. It's its
Okay.
own like it's in the same universe kind of.
Okay.
It's House of the Dead Gaiden.
Okay.
I mean, so it's its own story, but it's kind of like takes inspiration from the House of the Dead arcade universe, I guess.
Okay.
It's super raunchy, super grindhouse in its presentation.
Sweet.
Um, I I want to say the Wii version is actually one of the lesser censored versions.
Oh, wow. All right. Cool.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a light gun game. I mean, so if you like just shooting zombies, it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as good as I don't know if it's the best, but it's fun and it's a good time. So and probably the grindhousiness and like kind of the raunchiness it's worth a playthrough.
Yeah, I do like cinematic horror shooter stuff. It's fun because they can do a lot more than an explory horror game does, and the action just comes and comes and comes at you. So
Yes.
it's cool. So here's our fifth Zelda game, Twilight Princess.
Another
I'm saddened that we didn't get a Zelda pick for our classic, and then inadvertently gotten this and had to play two Zelda games back to back, which would have been kind of neat. Um, I just thought about it before I forget it. If since the classic monthly was chosen by the backlog, next month I won't include the backlog.
Oh, the backlog
Do you think-
doesn't get a choice.
Do you think that's a good idea? Or do you think that
Uh,
I don't really
that could
think
be
it
the
matters.
compromise.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But if No More Heroes gets picked and that's from the backlog, yeah, fuck it, it's out. Next. Maybe, I don't know. I might feel a little strongly about it. Something else I
you
feel
got
strongly
mittens.
about is Brutal Legend and how Tim Schafer lied to us. It's a tactical game. It's not a combat game on its head. It's a tactics game. You have to like use your minions to fight with you. almost kind of like you have minions with you in Dynasty Warriors or something, and you're not just the hero.
I know of this one, but I've never played it.
All voiced by Jack Black, with
Yep,
music
I knew
from
that.
all sorts of rock icons. Dio will be in one of them.
That's awesome.
And I believe Ozzy Osbourne plays a character in this too.
Nice.
Which is really cool. So rip Ozzy. But yeah, I want to give this game a good shake. I have tried it. I bought it when it came out. I played it a little bit. Once it got to the tactics portion of the game, I just kind of fell off it so fast.
Okay.
But I really want to play it because, like, I love the writing. Like, it's funny. Jack Black basically plays, like, a more machoistic version of himself.
Right.
Who I think canonically the character is a virgin or something like that, Eddie. so like he doesn't actually know what sex is. I can't remember. I'm probably just spitballing that off the top of my head, but it'll be funny if that's true. But yeah, so that's the last game on our list here. So we have our
Alright.
wheel of names ready. So not as many for this one, which is fair. You know, not everybody has like a 7th gen game they want to like look back on and go, hey, let's do it. You have an idea about the backlog? Hold on. So we spin the backlog and it just counts for extra points if you manage to do it. Then our suggestion matter? I don't know about that. Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go.
In the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Brutal Legend.
Hey, there you go. Brutal
Okay. All right. Here we go. Brutal Legend. So that's it, everybody. We've done it. Episode 24 is in the bag. We have Mario is Missing, an easy, quick, and done. That gives you guys all the time in the world to play through The Legend of Dragoon before the end of next month. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one playing it. I'll be sad if nobody else tries it. You guys, it's okay. I'll be the only one.
I even bought it.
You
I don't have an
did?
excuse.
Yeah, see? Now you can just sit down tonight, beat Mario's Missing, and then it's done. And out of the way.
Gotta wait till Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I want to play Resident Evil Requiem, so yeah, exciting. I'm curious to see how the memes come out with this one.
Have you played any of it yet?
Of Brutal Legend?
No, Resi. Is it
Yeah,
out?
yeah, I started it this morning. So
Nice.
I love the Leon segment in the beginning. Dude, he is a badass. So,
Cool.
yeah. So thank you everybody for coming. Our new anime for the season is Hell's Paradise. If you haven't seen, check it out. We're still also watching Sentenced to Be a Hero because that one's coming out as we've been watching it. So we don't really have a lot of we have to kind of wait to finish that one. But hey, you know what? It's I'm gonna leave 12 of the anime suggestions up, and I'll just delete like the last one before then or something, so we don't have to have so many animes to talk about or something. I may just cut that down to 6. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really want to have so many of chat topics open on animes that are just dead. Nobody's listening to them. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming. That hung out. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you everybody for the suggestions. I look forward to playing through Brutal Legend, and Mario's missing. So,
Yay, Mario is missing.
all right. I've been Zane, and this has been Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
Peace.
Peace.